Welcome to Customer Focused Marketing. We celebrate customer experience one business at a time. I'm your host, Russell Van. Let us begin.
Welcome, everybody. This is Customer Focused Marketing. We like to say we appreciate the task to celebrate the customer's experience one business at a time. And we have a new business and new friend to the show. She represents the brand Healthy Rainbow. She lives in the great state of Pennsylvania. This is Lisa Belles. She is a certified health coach. And we would like to say welcome to Customer Focused Marketing. Lisa, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I would just want to say thank you so much for having me on your show.
Well, it is our pleasure. And I'd like to say I probably am speaking for the listener, too. It is our pleasure. We'd like to know more about what you do, the business that you're in, the brand that you represent, the people that you help. How about that? Tell us about Healthy Rainbow.
Well, the Healthy Rainbow is a brainchild that I had a couple of years ago when I realized that my health was not what it needed to be. I needed to lose some weight. I was feeling really bad. I had no energy. I kind of had that aha moment when we went on vacation to the beach, and it was all I could do to walk the boardwalk and walk in the sand. So I realized right then and there that I needed to do something. And so I joined the gym, and I started to get healthy, but I wanted to learn more. So I decided to go to school for nutrition coach, for health coaching, and I enrolled in the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, and that's kind of how it all started, and that's when the Healthy Rainbow was born.
Wow. So it was to help yourself at first.
Yes, that's how it all started. I really felt, and honestly, I was scared to death to start. I was sure that I would have a heart attack, literally, in the gym the first day that I went. I was scared to death. I told my family, if I end up in the hospital, please come visit me. I'll try not to die, that kind of thing. I really thought that I was going to, have a heart attack or not be able to breathe or something. That's just how out of shape I was and how bad I felt. And once I started doing it, I realized how much I actually loved it. So it took me a few classes to kind of catch on and to get where I didn't need to stop every 5 minutes and drink a bottle of water and wipe the sweat off my face. But I got to the point where I was able to tolerate exercise. And then I even found that when I didn't do it, I felt bad. So I learned a lot also from them about healthy eating, and I kind of took it from there.
I got to ask you, the name Healthy Rainbow, is there a significance of the word rainbow being in the part of the brand name?
The Healthy Rainbow was visualization that I had I had a picture in my mind of a rainbow with some vines around it and some kind of peace signs and that kind of thing. I just kind of had a hippie vision in my head of what I wanted my logo to look like, and that's really where that name came from. And, of course, it's healthy because that's what we're trying to promote.
That brings me to the question now. The story was walking the boardwalk or not being able to, thinking that you can walk the entire length of the boardwalk. Since your transformation, have you been back to that beachfront?
I have not been back to that beachfront but we have done a lot of other physically active things that I never thought I would be able to do. There are a couple places that we've hiked that are pretty steep. They're really quite mountainous, and it's a difficult place to walk, and I've been able to do it. When I first started working out, we actually had a group program, and one of our excursions, so to speak, and this was a secret until we all got there, probably because they knew that I wouldn't go if I knew where we were going, was hiking up one of the highest hilltops in Bradford County. And I honestly thought that I would not make it to the top. It took me forever. Everybody else was way up ahead of me. And, of course, I was really mortified that I couldn't do that. And that was one thing I said to myself. I really want to get to the point with my health where I can do that kind of thing. And now I can do that. I also ran a 5K last fall, which was pretty significant for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've been working at this now for 3 years.
Is it? And I'm saying you accomplish a lot, or you're doing a lot more than you used to do. Is it a great big difference from the before and after picture?
There is a huge difference. Before, I could barely get out of bed in the morning, and if I was on vacation or I didn't have to get up on the weekends, I could lay in bed until 10 in the morning. And now most mornings I'm up by 5:30 without a problem. Maybe on the weekends I'll sleep until 6 or 7. I have so much more energy. I'm able to do so much more. And I want to do so much more. Before, I just really didn't care. You know, my thought as soon as I got out of bed in the morning 3 years ago was, when can I get back into bed? Literally.
Yeah. That's a story to tell. That's a story. Now, what about your clients or the people that you help? Are they coming to you with complaints like this too, being in bed for most of the morning and lack of energy?
Yes. Yep. My clients typically have a lack of energy. They want to lose weight. They want to improve their health. They know that they don't feel as good as they could. They're just not quite sure where to start. And so that's kind of what I try to, first of all, I help them sort out what's their goal, because a lot of people will have a very vague idea in mind of, I want to feel better, or I want to get healthy. So the first thing we have to find out is, what does that mean to you? What does healthy look like to you? Is it being 30 pounds lighter? Is it being able to sleep better? Is it having more energy to play with your kids, your dogs, whatever? Once we figure that out, then we can map out a plan to get there. You know, if you want to lose 30 pounds, then maybe one of the things we need to look at is your diet. Maybe you need to bump up your physical activity. There's all different ways, and the same thing does not work for everybody. So it's really individualized to that specific person's needs.
So how do you address the nutritional needs?
Yeah, everybody has basic nutritional needs. I mean, we all need to eat plenty of vegetables. We all need our vitamins. We all need a certain amount of protein. We all need to drink enough water. But how we get there isn't the same for every single person. Some people have a vegan lifestyle. They don't eat any meat. So we need to find protein sources that are plant-based and have no meat. They can't eat eggs. They don't eat, anything that comes from an animal. So typically when you think of protein, you think of, eating a big steak. And for some people, that's just not the thing to do. So we based all of that information on what their likes and dislikes are. Some people have lots of food allergies. Some people, we suspect they have food allergies that they don't know about because of some of the symptoms they may be having. For example, if somebody has a lot of upper respiratory issues, sinus problems, that kind of thing, we might suspect that they have an allergy to wheat or grain or dairy. And so we might try an elimination diet. And usually once you can pinpoint those types of things, then the rest all falls into place and people will get healthier.
This is fascinating. Now, everybody's different. So as you take on new work, new patients or clients or people to help, what's the process? We get together. You found me. I found an ad. Blah blah blah. Okay. Hello. My name's Russell. I like to get healthy. What's the next step? What do you ask? How do you get started?
Well, the next step is that I would ask you to go to my website and fill out a consultation form, a health history. And in that health history, I learn what kinds of foods you eat now, what kinds of foods you ate as a child, any supplements that you take, any other health helpers that you have, like maybe you see a chiropractor or you get acupuncture. There's all different modes of helpers. The other things that I would ask about in that health history is, what's your current goal? What do you want to achieve from the program? Whether it's to lose weight or to get more sleep, it very specifically asks for all of your current health problems, any problems from your parents, because sometimes we know heredity plays a big part in how you feel as you mature as well. Again, your childhood habits, the way that you ate growing up, how your mother ate when she was pregnant with you, those kind of things, all those things play a factor in how you feel now and will also influence the path that we take with your program.
Do you find that new people to your website to fill out this questionnaire are forthcoming? Or is there a lot of gaps and you have to go over the questionnaire in person?
I've had a few people who seemed kind of like they wanted to withhold information. They really didn't want to disclose the whole truth, which I understand. There are certain parts of your health that you may not want to talk about. Some people feel ashamed or embarrassed. And so with those types of clients, we really need to ask some probing questions to kind of get to the root of it. Once those forms are filled out, we do have a health consultation where we either meet in person or over the phone, depending upon the distance, and we kind of analyze what is in that health history, and we talk about it, and we try to get to the bottom of, things like, well, why do you think you eat a box of Twinkies at one sitting? And I'm not saying that to be facetious, because I've known food addiction personally, and so I understand when somebody's saying, oh, well, I have a Twinkie every now and then maybe they're not really telling me the whole story. So part of my job is to get the whole story. Yes, that way I can help that person reach their goal.
I'm curious here. The health helpers that you were talking about just a while ago, like the acupuncture or the chiropractor and all these other things, these activities, how does that fit in with your plan to help them achieve the goal that you're looking for?
Well, that's really important to know, because if they have somebody else involved who maybe you don't want to go against what their chiropractor is telling them. For example, they may already have figured out that they have a problem with acid reflux, for example, and it may be treated through chiropractic treatments. There are things that I can do with nutritionally to help support that, but you always want to make sure that we're collaborating. You know, I would then ask that client, well, you probably want to talk this over as well with your chiropractor and make sure that fits in with their plan of treatment. It also gives you some insight into the person and how they live their lifestyle. For example, if somebody tells me that they see a Reiki practitioner, which Reiki is an energy healing, a good indication that that person is very spiritual, that they use a lot of visualization, those types of things, as well as receiving the Reiki treatment. So it's kind of a different mode of operation, so to speak, with people. It just gives you good insight into them as well.
That's interesting. Now, let me ask you, okay, you said that you may or you may not, according to distance, actually meet up with the person and go over the questionnaire. Are there regular visits or, you know what I'm saying, I know you got to talk to these persons on a regular basis, but is there a need to be physically in front of that person?
No.
Not at all. You can do this over a distance.
You can absolutely do it over the phone. We use Skype. And, of course, we always can meet in person, provided distance isn't an issue. I've had local clients. We meet every 2 weeks, and regardless of whether it's over the phone or in person, we meet every 2 weeks for a 6-month period, and sessions are about an hour long. We talk about the goals that we set from the beginning. We always incorporate that in, and there's 5 pillars of health that I like to focus on in my sessions, and we kind of go through those at the client's pace, but keeping in mind that we have 12 sessions to get through all of it.
See, I wanted you to talk about that, the 5 pillars. What are they?
The 5 pillars of health are nutrition. Of course, we have to put good fuel into our bodies in order for our bodies to give us what we need, you know, energy, good health, lack of disease. You know, those are all things that we're striving for. And when we eat well, we tend to have better health that way. Exercise is another pillar of health. And it doesn't matter if the person goes out and walks, if they prefer to do cardio, if they lift weights, you know, whatever that person's preference is. But it's really vital for us to move our bodies. People who are sedentary often have issues with high blood pressure, diabetes. You know, there's all kinds of chronic illness that comes from not moving enough. Sleep is the 3rd pillar of health. It's really important to get enough sleep. If we're not getting enough sleep, then we're not detoxifying our bodies. Our bodies aren't healing properly. We're not rested. We don't feel well the next day. We tend to lose our focus. So sleep is a really vital component of good health. Self-care is the next pillar, and that involves taking care of yourself. You know, we all know people who give and give and give, and they never take any time to take care of themselves. For example, the mother of 2 young children who just goes and goes and goes all day long, maybe works a full-time job, comes home from work, gets dinner on the table, gets the kids into the bathtub, puts them to bed, and by the time she's done, she's exhausted, she falls into bed. She just hasn't had any time to relax or to take for herself. some people have a different view on that. They think that's being selfish. You know, if I take an hour out of my day to go to the gym or to get a manicure or a massage or just go soak in a bathtub with some candles, it's not selfish. It's necessary. We have to take care of ourselves in order to be able to take care of the people that we love, and also to give our best at work, at play. If you're exhausted mentally as well as physically, you are not going to be as productive. So it's really important to take time for self-care. And the last pillar is primary foods. Primary foods are things like our relationships, our finance, our careers, meditation, mindfulness, spirituality, those kind of things. Those are all primary foods. And they also are very important to our health. You can eat the best diet. You can buy the best organic food. You can prepare it in the healthiest ways. You can eat proper portions. But if something is not right with your relationships, your career, you know, maybe your job, maybe you really hate your job. You just can't stand the thought of getting up and going to work in the morning. That's going to really impact your health. That's going to add a lot of stress, which that in and of itself is disastrous for our health. So all of these things together provide a very well-rounded, healthy individual, and we can't focus on just one. You have to focus on all of them.
Wow. That sounds like it's a really comprehensive program that you got going on. And you have to look at so many various angles of people's lives and activities and mental things that they work with or have been conditioned and now incorporate it into their lives to make them sedentary or active. Just so much involved. Their attitudes, their upbringing, their behaviors. And this is a 6-month program?
Yes, it is. Yep, it's 6 months long, and that really, by the time the 6 months is up, most people know enough, they feel comfortable. We've worked together long enough where they really feel like they've gotten a handle on all of these areas of their lives. Now, there still may be things that they want to focus on at the end of 6 months. And if that's the case, they have a couple different options. One, they can take the information that I've given them and they can apply it to their own life, and they can move forward on their own. And a lot of people are able to do this after the 6 months. The other option is that somebody says, hey, I still need some support. Can we work together another 6 months? Or can we work together for 3 more months? Or whatever the case might be. Absolutely. If you want to go that route, we can do that as well. And also,
6 months. I'm just saying. I want to cut you off, but after 6 months, and we're getting together every 2 weeks for an hour, you become to know somebody pretty close, friendly, even.
Yes, you do. You develop a relationship with your client, and they really, by the end of the 6 months, they're not really just the client. You know, you really do feel like you know them, and you're able to help them in ways that, you know, just a doctor visit or something along those lines is just not the same thing. You do develop a really close relationship with these people, and they start to trust you. And that's one of the benefits of it being a 6-month program. You develop that trust. And they know also one of the benefits, at least of my program, is that you have lifetime support afterward. You know, if in 3 months you need to ask me a question, by all means, please call me up, email me, text me, whatever. Stop me in the grocery store. I'll be happy to tell you everything I know. So even after that 6 months is up, you have my support forever.
Well, I tell you, Lisa, it sounds like your little health detective. It's a wonderful, wonderful program. The 5 pillars of health, the support, the activity that stories of your own of certain things that people are going through that you can account for and help them with your personal experience. Do you bring others in, other helpers or other people to guide the client into your program?
I do not.
Okay.
I do not. I work exclusively with the client. Now, if I had somebody who came to me and they said, I have this problem and it's something that I think is beyond my scope. For example, it sounds like a medical problem or something that maybe they need to see a therapist, or, maybe they've disclosed something about an alcohol problem or something like that. Those kinds of things, while I'm more than happy to help and support, I'm not a therapist. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a physician. So those kinds of things, I would really encourage that person to seek other helpers as well. So in that way, yes, I guess I would, but typically I work exclusively with that client.
Do they sign an agreement, or how do you work this business relationship out?
Yes, we have an agreement where the person agrees to basically commit to the program and to implement the things that we talk about, because we talk about things we mutually agree upon. Yes, I'm willing to do this. So we sign an agreement that that's the case. The agreement also covers things like lateness, cancellations, those kinds of, housekeeping issues, and also includes the amount that they'll pay for the program, the payment plan, etc. All that's included in that agreement.
Okay. So you do have things written within the agreement for default and lack of commitment.
Yes, I really expect that people will be ready. If somebody's really not ready to work with me, then I'll usually kind of pick that up in the health history, that, this person isn't quite ready to commit. And so if I felt like that was the case, I probably would suggest something to start out a little bit smaller, like a Jump Start program, or one of the other, like one of my focused groups, or attend a couple workshops or something that will just kind of ease them into it and not be fully committed to 6 months.
Besides the 6 month program, there's other shorter things, or shorter length of, I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but you have other things other than the 6 month program that they can start to ease into being more committed to a more lengthy program.
Yep, and it's just basically a way to develop that trust. Again, some people are not ready to commit to a full-on 6 month program. So I have a Jumpstart Your Health program, and that's kind of a crash course in how to get healthy, where we discuss, what are your goals, and here are some quick things that you can do right now to get started toward that. And that also comes with a lot of support. It's just 2 sessions instead of, 12. It's a 30-day program, and it's just basically, it's a taste of the 6 month program. But sometimes that's enough to get somebody excited about it and to get them to where they feel like they can commit to more. And honestly, some people don't need a full 6 month program. They just need the basics, and they can take it and run with it, and they'll do just fine. And sometimes those are people that are really ready.
Okay, all right. That's the core program for a healthy rainbow.
Yes.
All right. I think that customers' experience will be awesome, to be so close to somebody that they can call and write or text or get in touch with when they need it to get that moral support or that information that's vitally needed to get them to their goals. That's excellent. Now, for the listener, how would someone get in contact with you?
Well, there are several ways to get a hold of me. People can go to my website, which is www.the-healthy-rainbow.com, and they can check out all the services that I have there. I have lots of awesome recipes there, most of which I've developed myself. They can also find all my contact forms. They can submit a health history. They can contact me via email from there. And my email address, if somebody wanted to send me a direct email, is Belles, B-E-L-L-E-S, Lisa, L-I-S-A, 91 @gmail.com. They could also contact me via my Facebook page, which is www.facebook.com/capital THE capital HEALTHY capital RAINBOW. So www.facebook.com/thehealthyrainbow. And they could also call me.
Oh, you have a phone number?
I do. Area code is 570-423-1420.